How exercise benefits your brain. Exercise and the brain. We as a whole realize that activity causes us to feel good, however, the greater part of us have no clue about why. We accept that this is on the grounds that we're consuming off-stressor boosting endorphins. In any case, the genuine explanation we feel so great when we practice is that it makes the cerebrum work at its best. Also, as I would like to think, this advantage is undeniably more significant than how it helps the body. Building muscles, molding the heart and lungs, or basically results. The genuine place of activity is to construct and condition the cerebrum. In the present innovation-driven, plasma-screened world, it's not difficult to fail to remember that we were destined to move. These days we invest the greater part of our energy sitting behind a work area or lying on the sofa, and we have fundamentally eliminated development from our lives. This has become a standard in the previous century, however, we should recollect that didn't develop for this sort of an active way of life. We advanced as tracker finders. Our precursors needed to walk 5 to 10 miles on a normal day, just to have the option to eat. Since it requires a huge number of years for our science to develop, you can see there's an enormous jumble between our way of life and our qualities. Today we presently don't chase and assemble, and in addition to the fact that that is an issue, however, it presents probably the greatest danger to our proceeded with endurance. 65% of America's grown-ups are overweight or fat, and 10% of the populace has type 2 diabetes, a preventable illness that originates from inertia and helpless nourishment. We're in a real sense offing ourselves, and it's an issue all through the created world. Considerably really upsetting that movement is executing our minds, just as actually contracting them. Presently you may be figuring, for what reason would our mind contract on the off chance that we don't move so a lot? What we truly need to ask ourselves, is the reason do we need a mind by any stretch of the imagination? You may say that we have cerebrums to concoct thoughts or to investigate various circumstances. Yet, the appropriate response is that lone a versatile animal necessitates a mind. The cerebrum's primary design is to perform complex engine developments. For instance, a koala used to have a lot greater mind than it does now. Anyway, once it developed its stomach-related framework to make do on eucalyptus leaves, it implied that less development was required. Less mind-boggling developments, additionally implied less cerebrum was required, so the koala's cerebrum truly contracted. This is significant data, since think about who's managing everything. Your mind. The mind is certainly not a fixed organ that can't be changed. It's versatile and it can increment in size like some other muscle on your body. Or then again, in the koala's case, the decline in size. So think about what ends up being everything you can manage for your cerebrum today. Believe it or not, actual exercise. Especially focused energy vigorous exercise. Going to the rec center and lifting loads every 10 minutes, in the same way as other power lifters do, doesn't appear to have a particularly amazing effect, as extreme focus practice does. Powerlifting actually benefits the cerebrum, don't misunderstand me, however, to receive every one of the rewards, you need to get your pulse up to 80% of its greatest beats each moment. So what precisely are those mind benefits is the pinnacle of? Indeed, other than keeping your mind from contracting, you can anticipate that an improved ability should learn and ingest new data. It's been shown that understudies with higher wellness scores likewise have higher grades. Exercise additionally diminishes sadness and alleviates pressure. It even forestalls intellectual decay and Alzheimer's illness. In case you're a lady, you can expect fewer temperament swings. On the off chance that activity arrived in a pill structure, it would be hailed as the medication of the century. Anyway, it, unfortunately, doesn't have such incredible promoting as some solution pills do. Additionally, you need to invest the exertion, and that is not exactly as engaging. However, it's just probably the best treatment we have for a lot of mental issues. Dr. John Ratey, the writer of the book Flash, says that activity resembles taking a smidgen of Prozac and a tad of Ritalin. For the individuals who don't realize, Prozac is an energizer and Ritalin is utilized for treating patients with ADHD. It's as of now notable that activity builds levels of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. All are significant synapses that influence musings and feelings. The medications that simply increment synapses can leave you with many results. Yet, when you work out, your mind won't simply expand the synapses, yet it will likewise adjust them. It's a well-known fact that a few ladies get insane disposition swings when it's their time. However, it's not their shortcoming, as their chemicals are out of equilibrium. Exercise will assist tone with bringing down the negative outcomes of hormonal changes, and for other people, it will upgrade the positive ones. Be that as it may, generally speaking, activity has the most significant impact on learning. At the present time, the front of your mind is terminating signals about the thing you're perusing and tuning into, and the amount of it you absorb has a lot to do with whether there is an appropriate equilibrium of neurochemicals and development components to tie neurons together. In the event that you had 30 minutes of activity earlier today, you're in the correct mood to stand by and center around this video, and your mind is undeniably more prepared to recall a greater amount of it. A recent report found that individuals learn jargon words 20% quicker after they work out, contrasted with when they stay inactive. This is all gratitude to a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, additionally known as BDNF. BDNF sustains synapses and makes them develop. Actually, like plant manure underpins plant development, BDNF goes about as a cerebrum compost. A recent report shows that only 20 to 40 minutes of high-impact practice expanded BDNF in the blood by 32%. This bodes well considering development. In the event that we return to our illustration of precursors, the lone explanation we need a capacity to learn is for endurance. Essentially to discover food and cover, or to recall which creatures to maintain a strategic distance from. Some time ago, at whatever point we moved, it implied something significant was going on. We needed to escape from a hunter or recollect the way we took so we didn't get lost. Anyway, when we were resting, it amounted to nothing significant was going on. We actually have this antiquated component, so taking everything into account, in case we're not moving, there's no motivation to learn or recall that anything. On the off chance that you have a significant test coming up, you should take an altercation at the recreation center prior to hitting the books. The increase in BDNF will assist you with engrossing and hold more data. As I've referenced previously, the practice has the capacity to diminish plenty of our issues. In any case, regardless of whether you don't have any issues and you believe you're feeling incredible, there are still territories that can be improved. You can feel in excess of anyone's imagination and learn quicker than at any other time. In the event that you envision briefly your life as a computer game, you could consider practice as a cheat code. Yet, how might we get the best outcomes with minimal measure of time contributed? Like I said, extreme focus high-impact practice is the most ideal approach. This includes running, hopping rope, anything to get your pulse up right to 80% of its most extreme rate. It's surprisingly better if the action includes some perplexing engine developments, and it's not simply putting one foot after the other. Genuine models are tense and moving. An ideal day-by-day portion of activity appears to be 20 to 40 minutes toward the beginning of the day. For certain individuals, the advantages keep going for the entire day, however, for the larger part, they appear to last around 2-4 hours. This is the reason it very well may be a superior plan to separate it into more modest fragments. So suppose you complete 20 minutes of your center exercise toward the beginning of the day and afterward practice multiple times for 5 minutes for the duration of the day. This way you can expend the advantages. In the event that you right now carry on with a more stationary way of life, it's smarter to gradually develop to those occasions. 40 minutes is only a suggestion and not a necessity. It's dependent upon you to locate your ideal portion, contingent upon your timetable and individual requirements. The entirety of this data about the cerebrum and exercise was found in John Ratey's book Sparkle. In the event that you appreciated the video and might want to become familiar with this theme, you should look at the book. I strongly suggest it, and I've left a connection for you in the depiction. In the wake of perusing this book, I've understood how significant exercise truly is, and for the body, yet for the cerebrum too. This is the reason I've made exercise a center propensity in my daily schedule. Presently, when I awaken, I generally go for a run or utilize a hop rope to get my pulse up and prime myself for the afternoon. I feel more energy, less pressure, and I can handle more data with less strain. I trust this video moves you to do likewise and you make practice a centerpiece of your day-by-day life. A debt of gratitude is in order for watching, and don't quit improving until you've gotten better compared to yesterday.